Hi, my name is Zach. I am one of the co-founders of the Modus Ponens Institute, and the purpose of this video is to tell you a little bit about the Ethics Olympiad public speaking competition. I'll also be walking you through the way around works, talking about the value of the competition, and then lastly, I'll tell you a little bit about which competition might be right for you and the sorts of classes that we offer to prepare you for the competition and to teach you or your students about philosophy. So to get started, a little bit of information about the tournament itself. So let's go here. So the tournament is a public speaking tournament about ethics and philosophy. Two teams of students, 3 to 5 students, will compete to make the most coherent ethical argument about a case study. And I'll give an example of a case study in a moment. They're going to be using normative ethical theories. So academic philosophical theories about what is right and what is wrong and what is good and what is bad to present some theory about what is the ethical stance to take in the individual case. And then the two teams will engage with one another in what is meant to be an academic and productive style of discourse. So unlike debate, the two teams do not have to disagree with each other. What the two teams do have to do is use rational, productive dialogue to engage with each other and the case in an academic, productive way that's based in normative ethics and strong theory. And so our goal is to foster good, productive dialogue that involves real philosophical content, as well as strong deductive reasoning skills. Let's go over how the event actually works. So here is the structure of a round, but the first part of every round involves a case. Students will have this case in advance, and they'll be able to, with their team, do some preparation to try and better understand what sorts of arguments they could make about the case. And let me show you an example, one of the cases for the upcoming tournament, to give you an idea of the sort of thing that students will be arguing. So here is a case called AI in schools, and it goes like this. It's the year 2050. Mr. Smith is a very good teacher. He cares about the pastoral and emotional needs of his students, as well as helping them pass their exams. He's good at communicating not only with students, but also with parents and colleagues. His lesson planning is exemplary, and he never misses a deadline. He manages to respond to the needs of individual classes and students, and even volunteers to run an after-school club every day. His students get good results and are fond of him. But now, Mr. Smith's school, which is state-funded, decides that all teachers should gradually be replaced by AI bots. These AI bots would teach lessons, mark work, attend teacher-parent meetings, tend to the students' pastoral and emotional needs, and be programmed to handle a variety of situations, including behavior problems. AI teachers can make fine adjustments to their methods based on the students in the class and never need breaks or leaves. And of course, they're immune to human error. Furthermore, they automatically accept new policies and assimilate new pedagogical techniques. Naturally, the bot would cost the school significantly less money than does Mr. Smith. So this is the case. The case is going to be an example or vignette or story that's meant to draw out some sort of ethical dilemma. In this case, the ethical dilemma involves whether or not schools should be replacing teachers with AI bots, presuming the AI bots are really effective and cheap, the way they're described in the case. And here are a few examples of the sorts of questions that could be primed to begin the Olympiad based on this case. Critically, students will have access to the case beforehand that they can use to prepare with their teammates, but they will not know the question until a couple minutes before their presentation. And you'll see that when I go through the entirety of the round in just a moment. Some example questions would include, is there anything important that a human teacher can do that an AI bot cannot? Does the monetary savings count strongly in favor of replacing Mr. Smith? And maybe a third one, should Mr. Smith's school replace him with an AI bot? So that one's a more general one. These questions, one of them might be the question that the students would have to answer at the tournament, or it might be something else. But these questions are meant to give the students a sense of what they should be thinking about when they prepare, what the main ethical questions are in the case and what they should sort of have theories about in order to be best prepared for the event itself. So this is an example of a case. And now let's see an example, or let's see how the actual round itself works. So here's a map of an Olympiad round. First, there will be a coin toss, and the winner will choose whether to start as Team A or Team B. After that's chosen, the judge will distribute and read the case study. So they'll do what I just did. They'll read the case study out loud, and then they'll read a question. And like I said, that question could be one of those 3 questions that the students had to practice with ahead of time, or it could be something entirely new. After that, Team A will have 2 minutes to confer and prepare and talk about what they want to present in their case. After those 2 minutes, they're going to give a 5-minute presentation. In that presentation, they're going to answer the question given by the judge, which will pertain to the case. So drawing on the information in the case, they're going to answer the question, providing an ethical theory about what we should value morally when it comes to the case study, and then engaging directly with the case study to answer the question as meaningfully and with as much depth as possible. Another thing that's very important that we encourage all teams to do is to consider possible counter arguments that they might receive within their presentation itself. This is a critical part of doing philosophy, and so it's also part of giving a really, really strong presentation in an Olympiad. After Team A's presentation, Team B has 1 minute to confer before giving a 3-minute commentary in which they engage with the theories and claims and answer given by Team A in their presentation. So again, this is not like a rebuttal in a debate. Team B is free to agree with Team A. They are free to qualify Team A, what Team A said. They are free to offer additional arguments that count in favor of what Team A said, and they are free to disagree with what Team A said. What we require is that they give a formal, well-structured, and engaging response that deals with the material and builds on the academic discussion initiated by Team A in their presentation. After Team B's commentary, Team A has a 1-minute conference in which they prepare their 3-minute response to Team B's commentary. And much like the commentary itself, in this response, Team A's job is to meaningfully engage with the response that Team B gave them in their commentary. After Team A's response, they will have 7 minutes of judges' questions, in which our judges, who we choose from a qualified pool of mostly philosophers, people who have had higher graduate level or at least undergraduate level philosophy education, and our judges will question Team A about the presentation they gave. Our judges will put pressure on them and see how they can handle that pressure in the moment and see how well they can defend and engage with a pointed critique and investigation into their presentation and into how they handled their response. And after that, that ends the first heat after judges' questions. And then the teams switch. So Team B will now be the presenting team and Team A will now be the commentary team. And they will do another round with a new case. And that is what a complete heat looks like, is 2 rounds, 2 Olympiad rounds. Each team for one of the rounds will be the presenting, response, and judges' questions team. And for one of the rounds will be the team that gives commentary. And so this way, in a full round, or in a full heat, sorry, the teams engage with 2 cases, and they will end up doing every role. And that is an entire heat. A tournament will have 4 heats. Each team will be independently scored by the judge for each heat, and the winners of the event will be those teams with the highest average score across all 4 heats. This is the overall structure of the round. You can see this map, and you can also see a video explaining this on our website at modusponensinstitute.com, which will be displayed right here and displayed throughout this video. But that is the general overview. next thing that I want to talk to you about is the reason why this event is valuable. So, if you don't know already, there are some common misconceptions about what philosophy is. The most common misconception and misunderstanding about what philosophy is that philosophy is subjective, sort of like literature or art. That philosophy means someone in a room waxing philosophical and saying what they feel or what they think without giving too much evidence, without giving too much logic. Uh, this couldn't be further from the truth when it comes to analytic philosophy. The job of the analytic philosopher is to build up from axioms, from principles, from rules, from deductive premises, valid arguments to their conclusion. At its most technical, philosophy looks a lot like math. So the name of our company, for example, Modus Ponens Institute, is a reference to the Modus Ponens argument form, which looks like this. So this says, if P then Q, P therefore Q. And this is a deductively valid argument because if both of the premises are true, the conclusion logically must be true. It is impossible to logically accept the premises and deny the conclusion at the same time. And while the Olympiads themselves are not this mathematical in nature, the deductive reasoning that we expect from a really strong Olympiad team is like this. It is meant to be logical. It is meant to be deductive. The teams are meant to be establishing some sort of formal principles, or at least telling the judge what theory their arguments are based on, and then establishing a logical deductive argument toward their conclusion. And a good commentary will point out if there are deductive flaws in that argument, if it proves too much, if it's invalid in some way. So the amount of rigor that a strong Olympiad team will demonstrate and the amount of rigor that goes into being a philosopher is actually quite high. I often like to say that at its best, philosophy is the structure, is the study of the structure of reason itself. And I think that in a really good Olympiad round, that is on full display. The value of learning philosophy, well, obviously it's been a huge value in my life, but I think that any student can benefit from it. And this is for a few reasons. One of those reasons is that philosophy involves a lot of other fields. So if you really want to learn philosophy, you'll end up doing a lot of history. You'll end up thinking a lot about politics and economics and psychology. And perhaps most critically of all, you're learning how to think better. You're learning how to write better, you're learning how to think better, and you're learning how to articulate your thoughts at a high level. And I believe that learning these deductive skills, these argumentative skills, these writing skills, and these rhetorical skills are massively transferable to whatever you want to apply yourself in the future, whether those be academic pursuits, starting a business, working as part of a team, or just in general being a good thinker and a good citizen. These are the sorts of skills that I think are required and useful and valuable and help bring out the best of each of us. And so I think that everyone at any age could benefit from studying philosophy, and perhaps most of all, younger students could benefit from studying philosophy. Yeah. So the next thing, the third thing that I want to talk to you about in this video is the different events that we are currently offering. I'll just bring up our calendar. So here, this is the event calendar. Again, you can see this at modusponensinstitute.com. You go home, see events, opens up our calendar. So we have 2 event series this year, and we're really excited about both of them. The first event series that's coming up is the TK Ethics Global Olympiad. This is an Olympiad in partnership with TK Ethics, a fantastic organization which promotes technical and ethical literacy among young people to try and to help them adjust intellectually and ethically to the new technological challenges and innovations of the modern world. And with them, we're excited to bring you the Global Olympiad. There are going to be 2 Global Olympiad events. There is the Fall Global Olympiad. This will be on November 30th. And there will November 30th Eastern Standard Time. And then there will also be the Spring Global Olympiad on March 3rd. These Olympiads are open to every student. They are open to middle schoolers and high schoolers, so grades 6 to 12. And they are open to any group of 3 to 5 students in the world. They are fully global. The events will be online. And there will be a focus in the cases on technological questions. So 4 of the 8 cases in these events will specifically have to do with AI and other sorts of modern technology and the interesting ethical dilemmas that these generate. So we're really, really excited about these events. These events are, like we said, open to teams from anywhere in the world, and middle school or high school. And there will be awards for both the open category and there will be additional awards for the middle school students. So if you are outside of North America, if you want to sign up for your first Olympiad, if you have created a team with other students that you know, or students at your academy, or students at your school, and you want to compete in an Olympiad, this is the generally best option for you. It's a really, really exciting event. We're so thrilled to be bringing it to the world for its inaugural season. The second series that we're currently offering is the Pan Am Olympiad series. Now, this is a little narrower. The Pan Am Olympiads are only open to North American teams, and they're only open to school-based teams. So teams where all of the students come from the same school and are representing their school at the event. We'll be having an Eastern Pan Am Olympiad and a Western Pan Am Olympiad. Those will qualify teams for the Pan Am Final. And the most successful teams at the Pan Am Final will qualify for the International Ethics Olympiad, another global event based out of Australia for schools all around the world that historically we've done tremendously well at. The winners of the Pan Am Final from last year ended up being the 1st and 4th place teams at the International Ethics Olympiad. So we're doing something right over here in the Pan Am circuit. And this is a really competitive, really exciting event. We're bringing it back for the 4th year, and it's just a great time. So if this describes you, if you are a school-based team in North America, you should definitely sign up for these events as well. Critically, school-based teams in North America, you could also sign up for the TK Ethics Global Olympiads, and those would be great preparation. So again, the TK Ethics Global Olympiad series is for everyone anywhere in the world. The Pan Am Olympiad series is much narrower. It is for school-based teams in North America. So again, if you want to see this calendar, if you want to learn more about these events, and most importantly, in order to register, hop on over to modusponensinstitute.com and you'll have access to all of that information. Now, last but not least, what I'd like to tell you about is the sorts of classes that we offer and the sorts of classes that our partners offer in order to teach teams and students about philosophy and prepare them for Olympiads. Generally, there are 2 types of classes that we teach. The first is a general philosophy class, and the second is an Olympiad prep class. Starting with the first one, our general philosophy class is an intro to normative ethics. What students will learn in this class is a number of the most influential and important normative ethical theories. So this includes utilitarianism, deontology, virtue ethics, Rawlsian theories of justice, and a few others. And students will also get a lot of practice engaging with interesting ethical questions and case studies. In this class, students will also be introduced to the Olympiad, and they'll get a chance to practice the Olympiad. But it is a little bit more focused on teaching students the fundamentals of philosophy, including those normative ethical theories, but also logic, how to construct arguments, how to be a rhetorical philosopher, all of these critical skills. And this is meant to be a fantastic introduction for students to learn both philosophy in general, ethics in particular, and the structure of the Olympiad. The second type of class we offer is a more focused Olympiad prep class. This is ideal for students that have maybe taken the first sort of class, have some kind of philosophical or ethics background, and are really just trying to get ready for a tournament. In this class, we go through some more advanced philosophical theories, and we also do a class on each of the cases in the upcoming Olympiads. So students will be exposed to the cases. They will get a chance to have practice Olympiads with different questions, and we'll talk about the different ethical theories, principles, and arguments that a strong team may levy for all of the different cases in the upcoming tournaments. So these classes are, again, more ideal for teams whose main goal or students whose main goal is just to prepare for one of the upcoming tournaments, and maybe they already have some amount of philosophical background. Of course, there are other options we can offer for different classes that pursue different combinations of these two goals. These are the two main structures of classes that we have and that we offer through our partners. So that concludes what I wanted to get through in this video today. If you have any further questions, you can go to, once again, modusponensinstitute.com, and hopefully they will be answered there. We have videos describing how the event works. We have resources for first-time teams. We have example cases and example case analysis. We have our calendar. Additionally, we encourage you to sign up for classes through one of our partners. And if there are any further questions that aren't answered either by our website or by our partners, you are always free to email us at, I'll get it on the screen here, at panamethics@modusponensinstitute.com. You can also call the other co-founder of the Modus Ponens Institute, Archie, at 1-617-708-7269, or fill out our form. So we really look forward to hearing from you, and we really look forward to seeing you at one of our Olympiads, watching you display your ethical chops. Thanks so much, and we'll see you at the events.